Bob Gardner here from thebraidedwarrior.com. This week for Warrior Wednesday, I wanted to give you guys a treat, a gift. And I've asked myself many times over the years, and people have asked me for different healing techniques, and of all the ones I know, what is the number one technique that I would teach you or anyone else? If I could teach it to the whole world, what would be the one that I could teach? And without a doubt, this one that I'm about to show you is the number one technique that I would teach anyone who's suffering from most things, because it will help with alleviating stress. It will help with eliminating pain, especially pain from headaches even, or at least drastically reducing it. It helps with also with calming the emotions. And so getting people more emotionally stable and grounding them and helping them feel centered. And it also helps in building connections and building relationships and helping people get back in touch with each other. All from one technique, and I call it, you ready? Shiver Me Timbers. The name came because I had to teach this to a bunch of kids once, and so we turned it into a game where we could kind of collect points and figure out who won. But it was a healing technique nonetheless. And I want to give it to you now. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to go through the process of teaching you what the technique is, and then I'll discuss a little bit about how it works, what you can use it for, when's a good time to use it, and all the other questions that you might have. So here we go. I've invited my wife, my beautiful, amazing wife, Jasmine, to join us so she can actually participate with this. There she is. There she goes. Okay. So would you turn around? This is a position that you would start from, and I know it's a little difficult to see on the video because we're kind of close to the wall here. So she's sideways, if you can tell from the neck here, right? Totally sideways, and my hands are going to start at the top of our head. Now, most of you have had somebody in your life tickle you, and you know the really soft tickle that like your grandpa maybe used to do on your back or something that gave you the chills and the shivers? That's the shiver part of Shiver Me Timbers. So we start at the top of the head, and then with that very, very light touch, we start working our way down her head and just kind of down the back of the head, just gently, and then across the shoulders. And as we move across the shoulders, and then eventually, you can't see this, but we'll go down the arms, all the way down the forearms. And you don't have to come off brushing really fast. You just follow. Come back up. And you go again. You can go down the sides of the head, along the ears, and the neck that way. And then also straight down the back, past the shoulder blades and the muscles along the spine. Just really gentle movements. You can move it a little bit faster if you want. But what you're doing is you're paying attention to what the other person in front of you is feeling. You're kind of noticing their body's reaction to it. You can also come down the front of the face. Now, if they have glasses like my wife here does, don't smudge their glasses. They don't like it. At least most people don't. So you might have them remove the glasses if you want to do the front, or just go down the forehead and then around and down the sides of the face this way. Okay, then down the neck, and then of course off down the shoulders and the sides of the arms, forearms and whatnot, or also down the back. Now what happens on the inside is sometimes the people will start to like shiver, you know, and that's good. That's a good sign, and it's okay if they do that. Jasmine does it frequently, and today not so much. Even if they don't shiver, it's okay. They're getting a benefit. Jasmine, would you say that this is useful and beneficial?
Yes.
Okay. I paid her to say that. Try it out for yourself, and you'll know the difference. Okay, you'll feel it. I did this in a class once, and I gave everybody 30 seconds, just 30 seconds to do this. And I put the timer on, and the first group went, and then the second group had their turnaround time. When I hit the timer on the first group, everybody was all upset. And the second group was even more upset because they thought that I had somehow jilted them of more time. It's a very, very enjoyable experience. And you'll feel the benefit. If you do nothing else and see nothing from the rest of this video, you will feel the benefit of doing this, okay? Thank you, Jasmine. Okay, so now the questions that you got here is like, okay, so how does this work? You're telling me that me just running my little fingers down somebody's shoulders and arms and down their back is going to alleviate stress, is going to help eliminate headache pain and other pains in the body, is going to calm their emotions, is going to like build families better. What's going on with this? And, those are good questions. So let's just kind of go from a basic standpoint of pain. Okay, pain, science doesn't really know what pain is for the most part. We know that it exists and that it accompanies certain things and that some people have more of it than others, but nobody's really quite sure what it is. We are clear, however, that your state of mind, how you're thinking, affects how much pain you feel. Okay, so for pain, that's that. Now, stress. Well, stress has to do with how you're thinking about the situation around you, and your body responds in kind to how you're thinking. Every thought that you have generates a response in your body. Guess what? Emotions. Well, emotions come up because of what's going on around you and how you're thinking about it. So what we're doing is we are hyper-stimulating the external surface of the body, your skin, all the hairs on your skin, all the little spots behind your head and neck and up here on the forehead and down the arms and shoulders, to the point where your brain has a lot to deal with, and it can't, for the moment, think about all the other stuff. So we effectively take you out of the river of stress, out of the river of emotion, out of the river of pain for just a moment, to allow you a chance to reset, and then you can go back and deal with the situation later. 30 seconds, again, all you need. You want to do it for 5 minutes? Bonus points, if you can get someone to do it for you for that long. Okay, so that's that part. Now, relationships, that other piece, and I've talked about this in other videos, but I want you to be clear here. From the beginning of our life, the second we come out of the womb, they want us to have skin-to-skin contact with our mothers, because it's understood that there's huge benefits that come between people, and hormonally and all kinds of other stuff, when we're in contact skin-to-skin with a loving presence. Well, this is kind of like a caress. And the thing is, we grow up and nobody's talking about how teenagers need skin-to-skin contact and hugs and stuff like that. Not as much, and we don't emphasize it as much, but we're all human, and even me, it's so powerful and so beneficial, and it does so many things from people, all the way from newborns all the way up until their last days of life. Okay, when we do this in a world where there's a screen between you and me, a screen between everyone, it gets the screen out of the way and we connect again as real people. Now, when might be a good time to do this, Bob? I mean, like, is this just something you do in the morning or at the end of the day? Well, those are good times to do it. My wife and I often trade with things like this or a massage or something at night, just to kind of help us cool down for the end of the day. It's a good time. But I tell you, one time I remember I came home from work. I had just had a client and I came home. It was the afternoon. The kids were home from school. There was a mess everywhere because they never put things away, let's face it. At least not right away. And there was noise everywhere. And I looked at my wife and I could tell that she was frazzled. So I quickly kind of had a brainchild and I thought, well, let's have the kids just hold everything for a few seconds. So I told them, okay, we'll be right back. I took my wife into the other room, closed the door, and I did Shiver Me Timbers for about 30 seconds. And I could visibly see her just relax, calm down, and get a little more focus. And then I went into the fray. So it was like a tag team kind of thing. What I mean by this is, it doesn't have to be super calm. You don't have to have like ocean waves in the background and some sort of crystal lamp in order for this to work. It can happen anywhere. And it's not so super weird to where you couldn't even do it in public. If someone was having a hard time in public, you could totally just tickle their back. Someone asks you what you're doing, you just go, oh, I'm just tickling their back, trying to, being nice. No big deal. Now, Bob, you might ask, Bob, do you have to be a healer to be able to do this? Don't you have to have some kind of special skills to use healing techniques? No. That's a good question, but I specifically look at this one because it doesn't require it, okay? Everybody in the world knows what it's like to be tickled, or most people do. If you're watching this video, chances are you do. And everybody in the world knows what they're after when they're going for it that way. We know how to touch people really softly, and we know how to just do this for a little bit of time. Okay? Kids can do it, adults can do it. You don't have to be a healer. You don't have to have any sort of special juju about you. You don't have to have some brain technique that you're doing while you're doing this so that they heal or anything like that. What's happening is purely inside them. Their mind is getting relieved from the burden that it's been carrying, and their shoulders as well, which is literally where we carry a lot of our stress. And it's giving their body a chance to let go and start fresh. So you don't have to be a professional. Now you go, okay, so of all the techniques, why would you choose this one? That's a good question too, but let's face it. 1, it's easy. 2, it's really fast and simple to do. 3, it offers a huge relief. If you just try it, even if you just do it on your own, that's the cool part. That's number 4. But it offers huge relief. Number 4 is that you can do it for yourself. So maybe you're having a hard time, or you don't have somebody around that's willing to do this. Guess what? Watch. You can do this right now while you're watching this video, and you can tell there are places that feel really good, and you notice the effect that it has on your body as you're doing this. All the way down behind the neck is a good area to do things, especially if you're a guy. I don't know about the experience of being a girl, so you get to test and tell me in the comments or email me or something like that. Okay, down the front over here, really good area as the hairline, or what used to be a hairline, comes down this way, right? Really wonderful area to do this in. And you can cross the body and go down your neck and down your arm. Simple and easy. And this is kind of what it would be like down the forearm. And you can go as slow or as fast as you want. Okay, you got the idea? Right? And this is a particular maneuver that they use for rewiring the brain and, getting coordination between both hemispheres of the brain and stuff, and all kinds of other healing circles. So it's beneficial on more levels than just it feels good. But I like the fact that it feels good. So you try this out. Now, it might sound so simple that you're easily going to dismiss it, but let me tell you, we have a son who struggled with anger. He probably got it from me, like haven't figured out how to control his emotions. When I was a kid, it was the same deal. And some people respond by shutting down, and some people get goofy, and some people are avoiding. Well, he turned to anger. So we have our kids wash the dishes because, well, we like to teach them that it's when you're a part of a family, you all pitch in. And I did it when I was a kid, and so on. So he's upset about something that happens at the dinner table. Well, let's be honest. When you have 6 kids and you're all at the dinner table, it's a rare day when something doesn't happen that upsets somebody else. So he's a little bit upset, and he's got to do the dishes on top of it. So he's upset, his shoulders are up here, he's tight, and he's going around this. And my wife just walks in the room and sees him and walks up and starts doing this. She didn't even ask. She just goes in and starts doing this because she's a mom, she's allowed, she can handle that. She starts doing this little thing, and within seconds, his whole body melted and relaxed. He blew off all the rest of the steam, and he was able to continue doing the dishes, not just taking it, but actually in a sort of a pleasant manner, because my wife just sat there for 20 or 30 seconds just brushing down his body, shivering his timbers. Now maybe you're not interested in this, but I guarantee that there is someone around you, someone close to you, someone that you know, a kid, a friend, a colleague who might be having a hard time. And if you have the knowledge to be able to get them out of that for a moment, to help them rebalance and to see life from the perspective of, not everything's bad, just this thing is having a little bit of a difficulty for me. And give them a fresh start so that they could go back and actually do something better with it. Wouldn't you like that capacity to be that way as a parent or a friend or a colleague? And I tell you, if there's one gift I could give the world, it's just that same gift that we're trying to give our kids, which is to have them know that they don't have to stay in the emotion that is governing them, that they don't have to stay in the stress that is controlling them. They don't have to stay angry. They don't have to stay in the pain that's there, that they do have the power to change their circumstances, and that they are not alone in the world, that there is someone there who cares about them enough to be in contact. That's a gift I would rather give the whole world. And so as you leave today, you start thinking about those people and your action steps. What I'm going to invite you to do after watching this is to go teach somebody Spread the knowledge of what this is. Teach them how to do it. Teach them why. Refer them to this video if you need to refer them to this video. Because you can't remember everything on your own. Go get some experience with it. Go teach somebody. And guaranteed, if you're doing it to them, it would be most likely they'd be willing to try it on you because they got to figure it out. And so you both get benefit. Take what you've learned, teach it to someone else, and watch and feel how it works. Thank you for listening. This is Bob Gardner from thebraidedwarrior.com.